Any kind of agenda or anything, or we're just riffing?
When you're on the stream, don't have, if you have the stream on, have it muted, or else you're gonna get my echo because I have to be on a separate channel. So you
I
guys,
don't got anything running right now.
okay? So you're on the desktop channel.
Hold up. Actually, no. Hold up. Let me turn off. Actually, that's not true.
Yeah.
My stream is still running.
Yeah.
Stream is still running on my Xbox.
You could turn it off
Persona.
unless you want to
Thank
just.
you,
But
Theo.
yeah, no.
I played this today, Theo.
Unless you want to try to scream. So whoever the hell is here, I don't know if there's anybody here, but should be back up for folks coming up soon. No,
the stream is live right now.
Okay. So
Jamie said he can barely hear Ken.
He can barely hear Ken, so that's probably might be the volume
I'm
on
also
my.
super low too. I'm also super low too. I just pulled it up.
Hold on. I have to. No,
my own audio.
Your volume. It has nothing to do with your volume. It's on my end. So basically, what'll happen is as you talk, it'll get a little bit better. Hopefully.
Yeah, I haven't really been talking too much. So
okay.
Well, I'm using my same.
No, you should be fine.
Commentary, so it's super low because I yell all the time.
Well, I'm looking at the desktop audio now, and it's peaking. Not peaking, but it's hitting yellow when So let me just bump everybody up. Can't stop shaking your stuff. You're shaking your.
Well, I'm on a shitty mic.
Oh. So.
Yeah. Jamie said everybody other than.
All right, I'll get you a good mic eventually. All right, you should be fine. Nate, I put up Nate because Nate's naturally low. In fact, I
can put you on speaker, but it'll be worse.
So. Oh yeah, don't put it on speaker. Just put it the other way and try not to shake, move, or whatever. I don't freaking know.
You mean I can't not move?
Okay, yeah, that's incorrect assessment. I mean, on the meters you look fine. So I guess okay. So it shows up yellow. So it shows up yellow means that they that you're about my level. So Jamie, does it sound good for everybody so far? Can't say something. Everybody start talking while we figure this shit out.
Very good job, everyone.
Yep, well, very good show.
Yeah, well, it's all yellow on my end, so if it's super low, I'll fix it in post, which fixing in post means it won't happen, but I don't care. Anyway, so this is the post-show recap. This will also be probably put it on YouTube in some way, shape, or form, probably just a direct rip. So we all saw Chill Factor. We all saw the same damn show. I'm going to mute drop pods and mute so I don't have to listen to these people. Nice. That's rude. Fuck it, safe space. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, so basically, it is the recap show. We'll see how this turns out, if it's a shit show or not. Either way, we'll also be open to whoever's here, taking any questions you may have. So let's just start things off. There's no direction, but let's start off with the very first match, the Archer and Court Martial match. Thoughts, comments, concerns, or opinions?
I'd like to hear theirs first. I having seen it twice now at this point, being on commentary, so I'd like to hear theirs first.
So, Kent, hit it off.
Very good match. I really liked it, especially kick off the show. KD and Shepard fighting for no goddamn reason. I just was like, what the hell? But it was enjoyable. I didn't really understand it, but besides that, it was a really good match. I thought tires were awesome. We need more lumberjack matches.
I mean, you need more lumberjack matches with people that are like, able to do the lumberjack thing. So that's where it becomes an issue. Nate, thoughts?
Well, yeah, I had to keep KD in check because he was getting a little too excited. So it's kind of like, trying to tame Kong. And you got to beat him up a little bit. Into like, this is your job right now, buddy.
Jesus.
But overall, I thought the match was good. I liked in the beginning of the match, there was a lot of like teasing, getting the guys outside. It felt like a real match.
Yeah.
And then like when they did get outside, Katie kind of went crazy right off the bat, and when Court gets thrown back in, and I like Archer running outside trying to leave, and ended up getting caught by both guys and escaping and all that, and then it just ended up flowing like really nicely, and in the end, like Court actually picking up the win for once. It was nice to see.
Yeah, it was definitely good to see Court win, especially as many times as he'd been going after the pride.
And especially with it being Archer, the one that lost, I think it was perfect the way that it flowed. This, when you do an entire card that's based around gimmick matches, because we did vote on everything, you have the potential to screw some shit up. And I think Jay did a great job putting this match first. It told probably I would say maybe outside of the main event or the women's title match, told the best story of any match. Like,
I agree.
Because initially when you think that KD reaching in there at the end and grabbing Court, like Lumberjack shouldn't be doing that. But if you play back earlier in the match, Court pile drived him. He like fought back against the Lumberjack. So then it makes sense that KD would reach in, and then Shep is like, nah, you can't do that. So then them fighting at the end, and then you have two things going on, one outside, one inside. There's chaos, and it told a perfect, beautiful story. That the spot of the match, though, was, like you said, Nate, when Thomas Archer tried to run away, and then he went to the left, went to the right, and got cut off by both people and ran right back into a Coreplex. It was great. It was great. I mean, you're going to hear me say that a lot about this show. I told Jay before the show actually aired as we were doing commentary. But when you have this many gimmicks going on, you have the chance for disaster like we had a Consequence last year. I think we blew it out of the park this time.
I agree.
So my thoughts, before I get to my thoughts, Jamie has a question. Jamie said, do you think the alterations, we agreed to FPR to allow the Lumberjack to hit more than 3 stomps on the outside helped? I wanted the Lumberjack to have an actual impact on the match as opposed to just having to go, well, better stop. As Jake said, no, it's that's how it should be, basically.
Absolutely.
If you get tossed outside, you should be fucking murdered. That's what it's supposed to be.
And the last thing we want is like just a couple of stomps and then stand them and bump them by KD. Like the whole thing should be the Lumberjacks are dangerous, and if you go out there, then you're fucked. So yes, it helped.
Yeah, it did. I'm actually glad that I actually honestly thought that was the way it was supposed to be. So the fact that was actually an audible, that's a good audible. So thank God for that.
That's cooperation on all parties. So that means it was like, that was good. Like,
yeah,
that's why most of these stipulations kind of worked. Everyone seemed to cooperate.
Yeah, communication. Well. Exactly.
Right.
I mean, yeah, but we'll get to that.
I was gonna say there's one where the communication really wasn't there, and we'll get to it.
I'll get to that one. So next up we have the H2O versus the Last Blacksmith. I'll just start this one. I found nothing that I disliked about the match at all. Told a really good story. Wasn't super duper long. I like the fact that both Harvey and Horsey play the same, in which they don't really care about the reversals. They just kind of go for it. Because I don't like that conservative bullshit. I don't mind if it's like, oh, let me just hold one. But like, you can tell when some people play super meta and try to hold and whatever. And it just, most of the time their matches suck ass. So these two went for it. It looked like H2O had it, and then fucking he didn't have it. And Horsey did the W. I think the only thing, if I want to nitpick for the sake of being nitpicky, is the fact that the table was on fire for like 90 minutes. But that's like the only thing on my end. Kick it to Nate. What do you think? Anything to add or whatever?
Our tables are high quality, so
yes.
I'd be surprised.
We so cool.
I
Top fed, dog.
I felt like H2O was dominant like throughout the match. Like if it was a normal match, I felt like H2O would have won, but it was a gimmick match. There was that point where H2O hits the Riptide and pins him. It's like, nope, we can't do that. And Blacksmith just came up clutch in the end for the W. Like it was all nice, and I feel like it's fitting. It's nice to see the Blacksmith win. Like,
the Horsemith.
Horsemith of the Blacksmiths. Yeah. Kent, anything?
The tires. Were just, again, like I'm gonna say this probably every match, damn near the tires were just, and this one was no different. Especially Harvey's, just look good. The presentation as well for most matches. I like just fast pace, the intensity. Like both of them, they went balls out the entire freaking match.
Yeah,
Then you get the big finale where someone goes to a flaming table. It just wasn't like it's what I expected out of a match between them two. Like just going all out, and I expected the feud. Everything was just intense, and I don't know. I just really enjoyed. It was what I expected. I didn't get disappointed at all. So it was like I would say like it was like a 7.5 out of 10 match. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Match quality wise.
Yeah, I told Horsey, I was like, well, since you fucking won, write something. And then I gave him a thesis, and he was like, that doesn't really fit. So I was like, all right, well, fucking write what you want. Just write something. So he wrote something. So that's on the show that will be posted probably later or tomorrow. Jake, your thoughts?
So this is another type of match that's super unique. It's not something you can make in the 2K game. So it also has incredible possibilities to go terribly wrong. We did make it sudden death because the idea, which I said in the viewing party, was that you need a finisher in order to light the table, so you're using a finisher there. That's so, you know, anytime you put somebody through it, as long as it's on fire. And they killed it. It was perfect. Like we had both guys hit individual finishers. I don't know if it was intentional or they were just trying to do some damage and keep them down. That finish was perfect. The counter when H2O was about to put him through to the finisher to the finish of the match. The fact that we're comping that happened. That, like, me being a cynicist, that makes me think, oh, did something sketchy go on here? That's how good it was. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to like approach them and ask them if that was planned because it was so good.
But you know, between them two, that's not possible.
No. Yeah, because between the two, I mean, I'm gonna say off the jump that the most impressive thing that Blacksmith did in the whole match was make an H2O match entertaining, because that's a really hard thing to do.
Oh Jesus!
Because he's a garbage fire of a person. But that aside, I hope that putting it where it was in the card didn't make everybody fall asleep, because the rest of the card was great too. Stipulation matches. I mean, Blacksmith has never disappointed before in these. That's why he's known as like the new hardcore icon. And getting that rub by beating the champ, like this guy we build up as the champion, I think in a kayfabe sense is awesome. So I can't wait to see what he does next.
And Jamie had a question that I'll try to answer, but I really can't because loose lips think ships and all that shit. What do you think?
Any other questions from other people?
I mean, if other people want to ask fucking questions, they can. But if they're not asking questions, they can fuck out.
Jamie,
you know,
Jamie.
It's fine. But if no one else wants to ask questions, whatever. You be telling people to ask questions, they be like, ooh, what's your favorite? Yeah, what's your favorite sky? I don't fucking know. Anyway, so
yeah, I'm just trying to get other people encouraged. You know?
I hope. So. You think he's basically saying what do you think's next for Blacksmith? Without spoiling it, I do see some kind of contention for him. I want to see some contention for him. He gave me one of his plans, and I told him it's stupid because it's not happening. But we'll see. But it's a good momentum shift. So I'm happy for him, and it was a good match, and no shot on H2O. I do want to touch on some promos real quick. So Marissa, fun fact. The original video was 6 and change minutes. I opted to cut part of the video to include the dudes in the beginning and a 30-second video, and then cut the second part of the video and cut it down from 6 to like 4 minutes. As a general rule, if you're doing a segment, try to keep your segment between 2 and 3 minutes. After that, it gets too long. People just don't care. If you need to surmise your words, ask someone to help you, or just try to keep it short. That's not a knock on Marissa, because Marissa's actually been putting work. My only knock is, again, please, someone, I'm gonna have to do it, but someone please talk to this person, because I'm not trying to get Twitch heat for this stuff. Please help me out. But other than that, I did dig the segment. I wish it wasn't so fucking long. The segment was basically, I'm coming to get all y'all. I got friends now, and that's it. So it could have been a lot shorter, and it could have hit the same result. Still not mad at it. The full version is up on the site. Go to the show when the show is up to see it as well. In the full 6 minutes. I don't think I care about anybody else's opinion on this because I'm sick of it. Well, go ahead, King.
Well, my thing is, just from a basic trying to read the promo, it was hard.
Yeah, it was kind of. It was
like, keep your words for one, like the moving text in. Just keep it. I don't like any of the text to move. Like, yeah, it like bothers me. Like, it's something with my brain. It's just like, oh, the text is moving. I can't read. You know what I mean? My brain just short circuits and I can't read it. So, and make sure the color, I can actually just physically read it, the color of it. Yeah. The size of the text and stuff like that. I couldn't barely keep up or read it. And so I couldn't really know what was going on. You know what I mean? Just from a basic.
Yeah. So a tip for that,
trying to read the promo.
So anyone who's doing videos, a tip for that, if you're doing text videos, if you put like a stroke on the outside of the actual font, it makes it a lot easier to see, especially like if it's a dark background and you do a bit of a white stroke, then you'll be able to see it, or vice versa if it's a black versus white, yada, yada, yada. It makes it easier to read and see, and it's better for the user experiences, which is what you want. There's a question by MaxiPad. He said, was the exemption of Emp versus Heather an honest accident, or is it still incorporated into the broadcast, or was it just added since they gave you notice and put effort in? Number 3.
So the context, the context to that is that it's 9 minutes long. The whole hacking of the Tolmec broadcast, Heather versus Empress, that was a predetermined thing. So like we tried to sell it on commentary as if it was a hack or it was a segment, but Imp did come to us ahead of time. It did come to Jay ahead of time and say, here, take a look at this. Is it okay? Jay cleared it ahead of time. So whenever you see something like that, it's going to be cleared most of the time. If it's like,
oh no, it's going to be clear,
segment,
period. So essentially what happened with that is she's like, oh, I have my match versus Heather. I was like, excuse me? So then she's like, and then she explained. I was like, okay. So I looked at it, and at first she said it was 13 minutes. So I was like, okay, look, do me a solid, and cut it down to like 8, and then we'll just use it as like an extended segment. Cause fuck it, because Empress does good quality. Like if it's shitty quality, I'm going to like be like, hey, cut it down as much as you can. If it's really good, or if I know you're a good creator, then I'll give you a little more leeway because chances are it's going to be entertaining. So she cut it down from what I said to 8, but she got to 9. So I actually took a look at it. I was like, oh shit, it's a fucking match. So it's like, it's just a match with like thing, but I consider it a segment because, some people, but the comp, it was a comp match, but it was subversive. Yeah. So
to me, it was like a cinematic match.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, let me do move, you do move. It was actually a comp fight. So that's the issue
it was an edited comp fight.
Yeah. So that in the past, that would be an issue with me, but as I've grown older and I care less, if it's produced well, I don't give a shit, especially if it's just, I didn't ask for it. So she provided it didn't suck, and it went up. So we said, hey, let's go with the whole angle, and it kind of worked out because Mugen did a thing on the show that you'll read that kind of corroborates that, and it worked out in my opinion. And I actually
the since
we're talking about it, that's like the next segment, other than the attack on Shepard and Mac, which is basically, it is what it was, a nice attack, and it leads to the turmoil match. Nothing really else to discuss about that. But again, so back to the quote unquote underground fight. My only equivocation on that whole setup is that we technically had 3 Kumites. So that, but but they all played out differently. So I'm less annoyed just because I'm old now. If this was 2007, I'd probably fucking be furious, but I don't really care now because all 3 worked out the way they're supposed to, and all 3 had varying differences of them that they weren't super irritating or annoying to watch. All 3 were entertaining, in my opinion. I don't know, I could be wrong. So let me take it to Nate. What do you think about the underground fight? Did Nate fucking go AFK?
Yes.
No, I'm here.
Okay, what did you think about the underground fight?
We said H2O, and he just
I went to sleep, fell asleep for a second, but no.
Okay.
I thought the video production was great. Like you felt like a movie. Like it was just, the cuts were nice. Like everything was good. It all went together. There was no parts where you're just like, oh, what are they were doing there? It flowed great. It felt good. The commentary played it up well for what it was and everything. Like I had no issues with that. It was good to see, and it's like, dang, I want to get that good at editing videos.
Yeah, Max is like, it felt like it was forgotten. That was the idea because she made the match, and Heather's like, I agree. It's like you don't make matches, so I was like, it's not happening. That's why it happened, in Japan, and that's why the feed was hacked. So it was the plan to that. So basically, we're good at our job, Max. That's basically it. Did you want to add anything, Jake?
Yeah. So to start with, your immediate thing, which we've gone back and forth on over the last week about placement on the card with the multiple Kumite-like matches. What if you watch the card back? We didn't plan this at all, and I have to keep saying that because this is all comp. One of the matches ended in a pinfall. One of the matches ended in submission. And one of the matches ended in KO.
Yeah.
And that's insanity because you have the 3 types of the way that the matches can end. So fortunately for Chill Factor as a whole, they forced variety into that. So I don't think that's an issue. The production value itself is going to give you a lot of leeway when you're looking to get stuff on the card.
Yep.
So Empress is head and shoulders above everybody else. I'm embarrassed every time I submit a video that is not anything near what she can do. So it was worthy on the card. I thought the editing that we had where we were cutting in and out, I thought that worked out for it a little bit. We could have done a little better, but pay-per-view weeks are hectic, so I just had to kind of slap it together. It was great. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know if that story is going to continue because the roll-up itself, because if you remember, Heather goes into the choke, and she actually rolls her up. So it's not like a definitive win. I don't know if that's going to continue, but I guess we'll wait until turmoil to find that out.
I mean, if they want to do another cinematic, I don't give a fuck as long as it's not like 15 minutes. If as long as it's less than 10 minutes, I don't like. If what you do is not long and it's somewhat entertaining and it looks good, I don't care. I'm all for it. If you do something stupid and it's long and it's stupid, then I get annoyed. So it's a fine line that you'll have to figure out as you go along. Next up, it looks like, if I'm correct, my order on YouTube is all screwed up because I didn't click on my time. It would be the tag team match. What's there to say about the tag team match? There was a lot of weird lag, which took away from me. I didn't hate the match. It was really short. There's a bunch of stuff.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was a bunch of stuff going into it during it that's a little I don't know. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and basically, I don't really have anything negative or positive to say. The best I can do is indifferent, I guess. It served its purpose. Everybody looked good. Everybody, I mean, the minion looked good. Lucha had the same fucking, as Kent said, the attires from 2 weeks ago, so they're stinky. But yeah, I mean, it accomplished the job. We'll go into the second part of that later because there's a fucking role play regarding the video role play. But yeah, it did the job. It was short as fuck. The fucking market, what is it? Risa Kenrana or Fata Kenrana? That shit. That's probably the spot of the goddamn entire match.
Markensteiner.
I call it something. I call it Fat Frankenstein or something like that. Jamie knows. Oh, thanks Warren for the fucking 8 months, 18 months. Jesus, Markensteiner. But I call it something offensive, fat something. But yeah, that's my take. Jake, thoughts?
So it was the shortest match on the card by a pretty significant amount. Sometimes, especially with gimmick matches, again, I keep bringing this up, we have a tendency to go a little bit long, and that's not anybody's fault, really. It's like comp. That's just how it happens. But I think we've done a better job as a Fed over the last 3 years to kind of work our matches into a more succinct way. We don't try and force a lot of things. A lot of people are being aggressive. Even that if that's because via public shaming. But they really went after it in this match. There was no issue with like people fucking around or trying to put contrived spots in there. And I mean, they had the champion advantage with the double reversals. That actually came into play a lot more the second time I watched it. When I was doing on commentary, I didn't really notice that, but there was quite a few times that Mark Reese and El Parca used their champion's advantage, and that's why you get the champion's advantage. We changed it from Brazil to a reversal for a skill reason, and they used it. It happened the way it happened. I think putting Lucha Country over, beating by far their biggest challenge to date was the biggest takeaway for this match, even if it was probably the least impressive match on the card.
Kent, anything to add?
Yeah, the match was just mad for me. Like, I wasn't invested in it like I should have been. Was it because he was wearing your Tornado? No, well, I'll deal with Nate later with that. Me and him have a discussion about that. That's different. But like overall, I mean, the whole, of course, the Russian thing and all that. But,
yeah,
that's a whole different story. But I wasn't really feeling the match. But I guess it was, Lucha Country continues to win. They continue to, are a very good team. You know what I mean? It just, that's it. Like, but to me, they're like, I just didn't like the way that match was. It just didn't leave a good taste in my mouth. I don't know. I just, compared to the rest of the card, it was like literally the least impressive.
Oh, that's why I went to the middle. Anything to add, Nate, or do you defer till we continue?
No, it was what everything you guys said. It's like one of those situations where you can get a competitive match where people are going at it. It turns out really good, like a few matches we'll talk about later. And then you can get what we had in the tag match, which is just kind of, it was what it was.
All right. Yep. Moving on. My videos are not in order, so I think the next one, I'll answer your question in a second, Jamie. I think, and someone's drilling for some reason. Of course, when I'm trying to do something, they're drilling. I think the next one is either, I'm assuming it's Isu. The Isu call out, I believe, right? Was it Isu?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're doing videos, first of all, if you're doing like a promo video, we don't need your entire entrance. Try to cut it a little bit. Try to be smart when you cut it. That's the first thing. The second thing, be aware of your levels, because we had the entrance, and then as soon as they got into ring, it peaked a lot. And if someone wasn't monitoring it, it makes a shitty user experience. So if you're doing a video, just monitor the audio levels, and you usually want something to be never red when you play it back. Always check. So look at your levels. I like it. I like this little mid-card feud. It sucks that it's done by a guy who has fucking, 2 champions and a former champion. But hey, it is what it is. People got it. If you do work, it shows. So that's what happened. He did a thing and he did a program, and Max came out with the keyframing that everyone lost their minds over. Shout out to Max. He's becoming I think he might be White Juki, maybe. He's becoming the guy.
Don't ever say that.
All right, sorry. So he might be becoming. So shout out to Max. And
he's better than Chucky.
Okay, of course. So with that being said, let me get to Jamie's thing. I completely agree. Tornado wasn't fun. Yeah, Tornado is a fact. These fucking people voted for it. Didn't have enough build. Well, the build was there because Lucha Country was pinned, but it was a good enough build. Being whole heel Nate turn. I got to watch Antonio Parker running while Nate and I just fought. Yeah. It looked like a generational thing. That's what he said. He said he was watching Tony and Parker run while him and Nate were just big meaty menning. So that is a concise statement. Back to the Max promo. Who has thoughts? Let's go to Kent.
I just liked it. I like Max. I like that I got to see him do something. I don't know. I just thought it was a good promo. Short and sweet. Got right to the point. I know what's going on.
Yep. And there's something I'll talk about after, but Jake, thoughts?
So obviously, as somebody who does video editing, I said it in the viewing party. The number one most impressive thing, I can't believe that dude keyframed that stupid wooden sign.
Yeah. That was
because I've done a little keyframing and it takes forever and it's a ball ache. So he actually lined it up fairly well, and like the story that it told. And my God, that hilarious edit with the iPhone FaceTime, and they even keep ISU in the little box in the top right.
Yeah.
The whole thing was great.
Little quality.
It's a perfect continuation of this stealth thing. What is it? The night vision goggle thing they did on the Go Home show. I don't know how the ISU and Max Edwards match is going to go. If this was like a fixed thing or a kayfabe thing, I would say that this is the one that puts Max over as he goes forward in his career. I don't know if ISU's going to beat him, but I'm telling you right now, I am super invested in that feud just because of their segment quality. They got to keep that up.
I agree.
So with that being said, the fact that Max came out with a Justin Jess t-shirt, I hope people noticed that. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say it right now, and maybe I'll will it into existence. If they are up for it, I will put Max versus Jest on the Lucian card, point blank. So if y'all want to do that, y'all have my blessing to do that. I'm hoping that's where eventually the bridges and the roads and the tunnels lead. But if
that's
not,
where it should.
that's where it should. I will put that on. It writes
itself.
I will put that at Resolution. Not a problem. It doesn't matter because both nights are equal now. Hopefully the next one that we have will be the same thing. So yeah. If they do that now, Max versus Jess will be on Lucian. No ifs, ands, or buts. Nate, did you have anything to add? If not, we'll move on to the next segment. Are you trying to light your fucking blunt, Kent? Jesus Christ.
Hey, listen.
It is what it is.
Let the man work.
That's fine. It's funny.
Right?
It popped me.
I got my dose. I got my drink. I got my blood. Like
okay.
What's up, bro?
All right. So I believe the next segment would be, if I'm not mistaken, Valkyrie comes home. Any thoughts before I get into my spiel?
Fuck Tara.
Go ahead.
What you said? What'd he say?
Right, go ahead. He said fuck Tara.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah. So the Valkyrie, the original Valkyrie video was essentially dry, and I thought someone was fucking around. So I was like, "Where's the pyro? Where's the entrance?" And Valk is like, "Oh, I didn't want to, I'm like, "No, you need,
Well, no, you got it. You have to admit, you just said that if you have a segment, you got cut the entrance and everything. So you said that. That's why I said that's funny when you were talking, because then you came to me and you were like, why does Valkyrie's return promo not have any pomp and circumstance?
Actually,
because you tell these motherfuckers not to have a full entrance.
I said,
but if I saw you last week, I don't need to see your entrance again.
Well,
I haven't seen. When's the last time
Yeah.
She did come back on the last show, but it was just like popping up on that hacking thing, and then she kicked Blacksmith and she left. So I agreed with Jay that we needed a full entrance.
He didn't. I said, where the fuck is Valkyrie's entrance? Because I thought Jake was doing something. So I was like, where the fuck is it? He was like, oh, Valk didn't want. I was like, no. We need. It doesn't have to be crazy. So you know what we did? We added an additional 30 seconds, and we achieved the desired result. So it was still it was a 3 minute. Right. It was a 3 minute and 20. No, actually, I'm looking at 3:42. 3:42. Yep. So we added an additional 30 seconds, and it worked out. So I liked the voice promo stuff. Colin said something. I don't know if Colin was trying to make a point or if Colin was being facetious. I don't know what the point was, but he said something about Vocaloid versus something. I don't know what it means, so I'm just gonna say that I like the voice aspect of it. Valk always does crispy ass videos, and we're at a phase now where if you're doing your thing and you're having fun, then I don't really as long as it doesn't affect the top line or the bottom line, I don't give a fuck. So Terra shows up being an asshole. And so it looks like we're gonna have a Valk Terra promo. So I'm assuming that's gonna be entertaining, and I hope there's no fuckery involved. I don't think there will be, and I look forward to it.
I love the way Terra. I like Terra's writing. Like RPs are just. I expect that shit to be really good.
So. I don't know how to read. Theo, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. Valk, like the body of work has been there, and then that handler for Terra is all right. Kind of annoying every now and then, but I think they can do good things together.
Jake, a rebuttal?
Well, I'm not going to respond directly to Nate there. The main takeaway there was I hope that in the condensed format that people were able to see it. My immediate thought when I watched it back was like somebody like Pew would like shit on it because they don't really understand what's happening. Because Terra's initial friend when coming into OCW was Valkyrie, and then Valkyrie leaves, and then Terra's entire inspiration for turning into what she is now is that all her friends left, so she comes back, pretends she's happy to see her, boom, hits her with that. I understand that everybody that's involved in the stories knows them a lot better than everybody else. I just hope that in that concise 3.5 minute thing that everybody kind of was picking up what we were trying to put down.
Well,
I thought it was. I told Valkyrie from the very beginning that the entrance had to be there. Like, you just popped up. You're like have been the people's champion of OCW for the last 3 years. We need some pomp and circumstance. He's like, no, it's fine. Valk was being humble, basically, is what it was. So I'm glad you said something that way we could get it fixed, and hopefully everybody enjoyed it, and we got more stuff to come. So
yeah, my only addition to that would be that if you want to emphasize the whole, because I mean you said it when you were like the same thing with Leon, like you don't fucking work here anymore, like that. But that's a Discord thing, so like that would be the same. You can basically use that, and honestly, given Valk's track record on socials or whatever, that could actually be integrated. It's like, you're here doing this, and this. Fuck you, you don't work here anymore. So that's like a good basis for a story. So I dug it. So I'm very pleased with that result.
Yeah, and without giving any spoilers, that's pretty much the whole precipice behind the story. So we'll get more as we continue in OCW. That's just wrestling.
Okay, so I think we actually skipped by going back to it, but whatever. Trey versus Jest, hair versus hair.
Oh man, what a great match!
Who loved this match?
Go ahead, Kent. You sound more passionate. Go ahead. You just lit up. Go ahead. Go, Kent. Get it off your chest.
Yeah, that match. Everything. Entrances, attires, just from the get go. It was just a classic, match, and it had like everything on the line. The ending, everything about this match was I just loved. Like even the 3-inch spear, just everything. I don't have a single bad thing to say about this match except it was like old school beefy wrestling. No, it was up and down. Yeah. Like it was just, I had like, besides the main event, the top match. This is like my next match. This is my top match of the night. Like this match was.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really.
I felt like the last, little chunk of the match, like the last minute or so. I don't know. I felt like it was just stay out of range for the spear. Keep on. Keep on. Yeah, and then it was like that last moment, it's like, he gave it to
He got all three. He got all three inches. But yeah, it was because see a lot of the word is basically that Jess is like he's a great handler. He's a great writer. But then when it comes to the sticks, maybe not like the top guy. Trey is actually really good, despite being a dummy. So this was a really good showing for both people. It was a really good match. Like Kent said, it was surprisingly entertaining because honestly, I thought that Trey was just gonna dump truck Jess, but no, it was really fucking even. And
but that's what Jess is like. I don't know who he reminds me of, but he's like Ziggler, or like where he doesn't necessarily win the big match like you always want him to, but every single one of his matches are just really good, and he always gets you invested in his character, and like
yeah, it was good. Like
love Jess matches.
To quote,
this was another one.
To quote Rusty,
Jess doesn't miss.
Rusty said, "For once, Trey played like a wrestling match and not a video game." So props to the guy. Yeah. It was good, and even the shaving. See, here's another thing too. When it came to the hair versus hair, I was aware of folks like, ooh. So here's basically some free advice from me to you. We always say that OCW is considered to be D&D for wrestling nerds. So in that sense, you want to think, and if you're given something, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the end of the world for you. Like you can always adapt to the situation you're given. The problem I see a lot of people don't necessarily adapt or react to the situation they're given, and then they just kind of put a boo-boo face and just complain about it. At the end of the day, you can always adapt to the situation you're given, and it's not super difficult. It's not super hard. You just have to be creative, and if you want, you could always speak because like Nate says, closed mouths do not get fed. You know what I'm saying? Jake, thoughts?
Yeah, and absolutely I agree with this match was fucking awesome. And I know Trey has a tendency to go into the Discord chat and do the woe is me card and act like everybody's against him for no reason. But there is a reason people shit on some of the things you do. And I'll tell you right now, you didn't do any of those things this match. This was a fucking perfect performance, engaging the whole time. The whole background of this feud has been completely personal. It's very physical. Like these two have been going at each other since the start of season 16. This is probably the longest built feud, if you don't count the longevity of CQC or whatever, of season 16 for sure, because it's like from day one. And they were going after it from the very start. There was wrestling, there was striking, there was brawling. They had everything. And I didn't even mind the finish because the best matches to me combine the OCW hybrid factor. They combine wrestling, so they tell a good story, and they also combine competitive nature. And so Jest had that finisher at the end, and I'm yelling at him when I'm watching it. I'm like, Jest, he's coming after you with that spear. You gotta watch it. He didn't watch it. That's not Trey's fault. Trey hit him with it out of nowhere. That's when you hit it out of nowhere. He did it in the best way. One person had a reversal there. If Jest hits R2 instead of going for an attack, he's in the driver's seat. And I've been there so many times being in this stupid Fed. So it combined both elements of the hybrid stuff that we all love in OCW. It was fucking phenomenal. And the video stuff that they did at the end, not only shaving the head of Jess to give us the great payoff to hair, so the voters didn't feel cheapened out, but also wrapping up the story, the dissension between Hollywood USA, where Court comes back out and we don't know if they're going to stay as a team. They wrap back up. The Bald brothers live again. It was a perfect package, I think, and I was a huge fan.
Theo, thoughts?
Yeah, I pretty much summed it up. The only thing I didn't mention before was that they reunited at the end.
Yeah, me too.
That was good to see. Yeah, it was like a heartwarming moment. It was nice to see on the show. Yeah.
Just another reason that no matter whether Jess wins or loses, you always love him.
Speaking of heartwarming moments, we have Marissa Welch and Evelyn Parker. It was, what is it? Nothing. Why is it? It's supposed to be showing. I think it's up, but either way, yeah, it did what it had to do, I believe. It's kind of interesting to see Elliot back, or the handler, using Evelyn Parker. So it'll be interesting. I know interesting sounds like a fucking just random word, but I don't know. It looks like it'll be interesting. Kent, back to you.
Is these rookies, man?
They go after it.
They go ahead. They just everywhere. I'm like,
I
love it. That's all I got to say. Yeah, granted, it's just, it's more Marissa. You gotta kind of trim her down, but it's just like, I just remember you yelling at me for lighting the ring on fire on like the second match of the show.
Yeah, no, you did do that.
Bro.
Yeah, the fun fact. Yeah,
So I don't even know what to say. Me and Matsuda used to
I used to just I would do cage matches. Do cage matches on just a random fucking rookie shows. Like, how dare you?
Like we killed 2 people on like Resolution pre-show and it's just funny shit. Like
no, not funny.
I just see it. I love the ambition. That's all I got.
I mean, there's some like I was expecting a lot more rookies to do work for the pay-per-view, and they didn't. Other than Marissa and a couple others, so it's a little disappointing, honestly, because usually the pay-per-view is where you really get the most eyes, and that's when everyone says, "Oh," and they'll take a notice. So the fact that really we didn't see much other than Marissa and maybe 1 or 2 other people was like, it's a little disappointing. But shots count.
I'm at the point where if I don't see 1 or 2 of those segments per pay-per-view, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yeah,
it's just that they just the only thing is you just cannot continue to piss Jay off.
Yeah,
you gotta continue. You gotta make sure you get it right. You gotta get to your target zone where some of these people like you just gotta get good. That's the best way I can put it.
Like we didn't see anything from Wrestling Club, which is really fucking disappointing. Like it
seems like, I was just gonna say, it seems like now people they put all that effort in putting everything on the weekly show instead of like some things. It's like, no, save it for the pay-per-view, especially if you don't have a match.
Exactly.
Like, I used to have
moment for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, a well done video will get seen more on a pay-per-view than a weekly show. And then it also, it's also because everybody else is kind of wrapping up their stories on a pay-per-view, it gives you more space to like do stuff. So Colin is now sticking out because he has that. Marissa been sticking out because Marissa does 1 or fucking 2 videos a goddamn show to begin with. So you want to stick out.
And entering another feud now.
Yeah, and entering another. This is going to be now Marissa's probably 3rd feud as a rookie. So
Well, and that's what stuck out to me the most. I don't know if the Evelyn part was a part of the first video that you broke up.
No. It was actually 2 videos. Okay, I was like, why is it 2 fucking videos?
Okay. So you heard me in the viewing party, those that were there, when we saw her doing the promo around the ring. I was like, oh, please somebody come interrupt her, because I'm breaking kayfabe. I worked with her just then with Tara, and it was awesome. Like, you're working with somebody who's willing to do all this video work, who's completely like cooperative, the perfect OCW person. And I know Jay and I disagree with her methods on the type of character she is and like being naked and everything. That's whatever. I mean, what she's done up to this point hasn't caused any issues with Twitch or YouTube.
Yeah.
That one video aside that I had to edit. But I love everything that she's doing, and I was so hoping somebody would interrupt her and hoping that the pay-per-view didn't end with her just like, please somebody work with me. And then boom, Evelyn shows up. And Evelyn is also coming off of that feud with Jordan Trance. That was a little bit ago, but you still remember that she beat up Jordan Trance in the women versus the intergender match. So that is super interesting. I did not expect Evelyn, or as Jay calls her, Gupta, and I'm looking forward to that.
I mean, gotta call it how you see it. So we're making wonderful time. And yeah, I get tired. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about, like, I don't care, but it's like people are sissies now. So that's my prime concern. People are like, oh, and the thing is, if something does happen, it is my fault for not putting the fucking, putting the pin in it. So I have to do that. I don't want to, but I have to, because I have to protect my interests. And that's basically the bottom line. It's not me trying to suppress somebody. It's just me looking out for fucking the goddamn site, because people are sissies
part
nowadays.
Of the Chinese government?
Yeah, man. Some people
censorship.
Yeah, they sissies, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, blah blah. It's like, oh, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. See, I think you and I disagree on the level of sensitivity or like softness that
you say it. It's
like
not. It's
entertainment
not even,
is. I know. I think we disagree on that, and that's a fundamental point that we have to later. But I think we're fine. Everything's fine right now.
We got
liberal versus conservative. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have. I don't know if I should wrap this as the same thing, but the Doc Kane video promo. My only thing on the Doc Kane video promo, I liked the promo, but it felt like it was too long. When you want these video promos, you kind of, I know that they had to, I know that whoever put it, I think it was maybe Kane put it together, that you want to cover as much as you have to, as everything, but a rule of thumb, and I have rule of thumbs for both videos, but rule of thumb when it comes to recap videos, if you can help it, you only want to give things usually like, I don't know, maybe 2 to maybe 2.5 seconds. So I could just kind of give people in their memory refreshers to like, to see something and then whatever. I felt it was only 3:30 more or less. It wasn't super long, but it kind of felt like it was dragging a little bit. Like you just kind of want to hit your spots, have that like moment, like oh shit, and then you go to the match, as opposed to it keeps going. You're like like there's a reason that movie trailers are a certain amount of time and movie teasers are a certain amount of time for that specific reason. That's like a mental thing. Does anyone want to chime in on that video, or can we go straight to the match?
No. Seriously, no. I think the only point that they could have cut out is they included the entirety of the Doc versus T.Y. Sparks match. I think you didn't need that. Like that is when Solomon Kane met his presence felt, and T.Y. versus Doc for the light heavyweight title is one of the best matches of the season so far. So I do understand the mindset of including all the little highlights in there. I do understand the little highlights there, but you don't need to include all that. Just include him maybe beating T.Y. and then holding the title up, and then you can jump right, because the focus should be on Kane and Doc.
Yeah.
You don't want to input when the clip started. I was like, whoa, is this a T.Y. promo? You don't want that to happen. You want to focus on the two people within the match.
Yeah, always. Kent, Nate, any thoughts, or we move on?
Yeah, just the time just went a little too long, but I liked the whole thing. Like I really didn't have. I don't know, because maybe time moves different in my head sometimes, and I was just into it.
Yeah.
So, but it did go on a little longer, and I would say usually most things should be no longer than 3 minutes, like at that.
I would say 2 when it comes to like even intros 2.
Yeah.
Like you did.
Two is like the max.
Go ahead, Nate.
1.5 to 2 minutes. I think
that's a good. That for if you're doing like feud hype packages, that's perfect. 1.5 to 2. I agree.
Like
that's what you see on like a TV commercial, you know?
Exactly.
That kind of stuff.
The only video that I can remember that broke that rule was the Dinsmore Dupree build-up feud. That was based on the Undertaker Shawn Michaels thing, so it had the running up the hill. So that shit was long, but maybe it might just be like time bias,
because that match was 2 years in the making.
I think that's what I say. It might be time bias, but that video was actually like I think the song is what helped that video not be a slog. I'm just using that as a reference point, because I remember listening to the entirety of the song while the video was still playing. I was like, oh okay, and it was enthralling for what it was, but it might just be time bias. Anyway, the actual match itself.
Context and production. Just like the Empress thing we talked about earlier, context and production will give you a little leeway.
Yeah, they go a long
when it's resolution,
way.
then she'll, there's a difference. It's kind of a big difference.
Yeah.
Length, the longest, how that feud was going on for how long? And Doc and Salami's only been,
That one's about maybe 4 months or 3 months. Okay, so the actual match itself. So first and foremost, to Doc and Salami, we apologize for fucking up the audio on that. That's on us. Jake did the first cut.
We don't apologize for anything. I'm gonna cut you off here.
What?
I have to apologize.
I also have to apologize.
We did our rendering in a little bit of a different way this time. Usually I'm the one that syncs the audio, but we actually put on the where I'm yelling over the card. I put that on my video this time. So without getting in too deep, that was on me. It will be fixed for the YouTube version. And I'm glad that was the only one that had happened.
Well, the YouTube version's up, but it's partially blocked. I mean, it's partially unlisted, so I'm waiting for a new one. It kind of fucks up the order, but it's a bit.
Did we skip a match?
No, we didn't skip a match. We're going actually in order as far as I'm aware. We covered
in actual order and not the card order. The card order was different than the actual order it aired.
Yeah. So, and then the reason I fucked up because I always go through the audio. And
no, he's right. We skipped the Kumite. The Kumite went first.
No.
Right.
Oh, it did. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at the video.
Because I got everything numbered, B. Like,
okay,
literally
my bad.
Numbered.
That's my bad. So yeah,
Kumite went first.
I'm going. So okay. So. All right, we'll go back. We'll go back to the Doc one.
We fucked him up, Ken.
We'll go back to the Doc one.
No, we was in it. We was in it. That's okay.
So the Kumite, and now generally, as you notice, I've been pleasant and cordial and trying to be not the guy, but I'm gonna have to go back. So with the Kumite, it was voted on, and when I saw it, I was kind of excited because in my head, I'm picturing the Bloodsport event that they do, Josh Barnett or before him, whoever else did the Bloodsport, I forgot who it was. I know Josh Barnett does it now. So in my head, I'm picturing like a gritty, smash mouth type of match, this, that, and the third, serious, whatever, dangerous, etc., etc. I provided a document. I opened up a chat and I provided a document for both B17 and Rex. I outlined, you know, the do's and don'ts. Yeah, and basically it was about a page. It was a page basically of information, and I outlined the moves. I said, hey, you might have to redo some move sets. You know, I'm sorry if you got to redo move sets or whatever. And I outlined a bunch of rules. One of them was, you know, no Irish whips, don't go to the top rope. And we even made some amendments to the submission rule to keep the fight in the center of the ring, because the problem is that if you want to avoid the ropes, it's kind of difficult. So the solution to that is essentially just use the fucking steel cage, but I didn't want to because the French Fight Pit basically won. So it's like, I don't want to have 2 cage matches. So we would have probably had 3 cage matches if I would have changed that. So that being said, the reason I got salty, and maybe this is why that guy left, why Adam pieced out for a bit, because I specifically said no Irish rips. I specifically said, you know, don't do this, don't do that. You know, I said a bunch of shit specifically. I opened up a chat. Basically, I didn't say just wing it. So then don't see that. When I see the opposite of that, it makes me annoyed, because why the fuck am I talking to you and wasting my time if you're not going to listen? Like, why are you going to make the match a joke? I know it's part of the gimmick. So that part, you know, prior to the match, I told Jake, I'm like, I got a feeling it's going to be something stupid. And Jake is like, oh, you know, well, you're always like that. You're always negative and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, all right, go ahead. As soon as the match, he shut up because he just like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I was like, I told you I was right, motherfucker. I know. It's not, you know what it is? You have to play to people's strength. And this is not knocking the champ at all. You know, Adam is who Adam is, and it is what it is. It's not a bad thing. He's basically like White Spider. It's fine. But it's like, when you want something one way and you get it another, especially when you took the time to sit down and say, hey, you know, X, Y, Z, and it doesn't happen, you get a certain way. So that being said, I think I handled that fine, just being goofy. So yeah, that's what pissed me off. The match itself was not bad. If it wasn't supposed to be a kumite. And it's so silly to be like, oh, it's not, you didn't do it the right way. But it's just very annoying to White Spider. It's just very annoying to fucking sit down and talk to somebody and walk them through stuff, and then to basically see it disregarded. It feels disrespectful. That was not meant to be. Like, it wasn't done purposefully, basically. But it just, you know, it could also be the game. But it's at a certain point, it's like, yo, because you got Rex actually played it the way it was supposed to be played. Which is why I told Rex, I'm like, yo, thank you for at least, you know, attempting. Like, I ain't mind the gi, you know, fit with the gimmick of being a goofball, but then it's just like the random whatever. Because if it wasn't that way, if it was just a regular, you know, type of match, it would have been fine, because the match itself was okay. I mean, it wasn't okay. It was actually a good match. I'm just fucking annoyed and pissed off that I wasted my fucking time to say, hey, don't do this, don't do that, and then it just happens anyway. It's like, why the fuck am I talking to you? I'll just go back to not talking to anybody and bitching at it afterwards. Because, you know, they're not psychic. So that's my bitching about it. I'll give it to Jake. Cooler head. Motherfucker. Nobody fucking listens.
So I'm always the cooler head. Jay's absolutely right that he came in and I think B17 is going to make a mockery of this. And I was like, no, you know, he's not. Like, it's the Kumite, man. And then you can hear it on commentary. It's actually super funny. As soon as the Kung Fu fighting theme plays, Jay goes, this motherfucker, and he's in kayfabe at that point, so he's like being above and beyond. That's whatever. It's super funny. I am not super upset about the way that Bingo handled the actual match itself. I mean, there was a ton of stuff that, given my knowledge of how pre-prepared they were with all, and I posted it in the show discussion chat, anybody that's in the Discord, given my knowledge of how pre-prepared they were, it feels kind of shitty to see that Bingo would openly do the things he did. I don't know how informed he was because I didn't talk to him. That's up to
He was in the fucking chat, goddammit. That's what I'm saying. It could be the game.
I wasn't in the chat that you talked to them to. That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
But I was in this chat where we decided what would be okay and what would not be. Most of the match was great.
No, it wasn't
I think
bad.
Most people agreed too. I'm more upset with Adam's reaction to what happened there, because to act like you're the one that's not at fault and to act like you're the one that is being attacked like, you just have to take the L and move on. Like, most of the match was good, but you have to admit you did shitty things that were not a part of the Kumite. What did you count during the match? 8 or 9?
Oh, I basically
like,
when he got all fucking in his bag, I was already like maybe fucking like 12 or some shit. I was doing that to make myself feel better because I was so livid. But the thing is, the match itself wasn't bad. It's just like follow the fucking rules. Just because if that wasn't the case,
but at a certain point, it irritated me.
It irritated
me that he left the chat and he's like throwing a fucking fit. And it's like, bro, just relax. Like, it's cool. Like,
it's
not
fine.
every match can be tough. It's all good. But that shit happens. So if you're in a match like that, this is one of the matches that I didn't expect with the gimmick matches. We've talked about it, like the Achindi Tables match, the French Fight Pit. Like, some of these things I expected to go terribly wrong because they were unique creations of OCW. This one, we've had one of these before, and I trust inherently in B17 and Rex's ability. And unfortunately, if not for the very short match that we had in the tag match, this would be the last match. I'm going to put this at 7 just because it had quality stuff around the bullshit. But I mean, it just didn't live up to what I wanted the Kumite to be.
The issue is you have to play to people's strengths. And this is what someone, for a number of years, and you have a community of people, and like, for example, yesterday, shit was light. So I hit up a bunch of people and I said, hey, do me a solid. And I got, the show filled out because of it. Jamie, Lewis, Rex, Doc, H2O, Horse, Ashley, there's other people. If I miss your name, I'm sorry. Don't cry about it. But the point is that you have to play to people's strengths. So that's not one of his strengths. So now that's been reinforced. So now I know going into it, when you approach something with him, like, it has to be, within certain parameters to get the desired result. Like, there's certain things you can't do with certain people. It's not a knock on them. It's just that you have to play to their fucking strengths, period. That's basically what it boils down to. You have to play to their particular strength, whatever, in whatever fashion it may be. Like, you just can't do certain things with certain people because it just doesn't work out. So, me crying being said, what do you think, Nate?
Well, I think you kind of hit the nail around the head there, but I feel like those are two people it's worth a try to, even try to do it. And it's just what ended up happening. Like, I feel like with this game, there's some things that come down to, muscle memory.
Yeah.
In a sense. So, every once in a while, a couple of mistakes here or there, okay, but if you kind of 12 or so instances and something went on there, but it's just like Jake said, you say, oh, I messed up, I'll fix it, won't do it again, and we move on.
What also gets me, I don't like dumbass comments after a fucking match. Like, if you do your match and you send me a stupid ass comment, there's gonna be a good chance I'm gonna be annoyed, and I'll get to that later. But don't do that. I don't give a fuck about your feelings when it comes to that. Just do your fucking match, and then after the fact,
Team OCW. That should, everybody should know that. You should be Team OCW. The fact that you pop in the viewing party during your match, hear one bad comment, and leave the channel and just turn the fucking channel off. There's a whole pay-per-view going on, bro. It's not just about you.
It's no knock on him, but it was shout out to Rex for doing what he got to do. It wasn't a bad match. It just, moving forward, I know that it requires a cage of steel. Basically, that's what it does. Which is now I know, because Rex is like that. He likes doing sudden death, so we'll do sudden death stuff. And if there's ever another Kumite, it'll be like what Emp did, or more or less a combination of what Emp and what Heather and the other match we'll get to later. So back to the anything you had to add?
I don't like 2K19.
I think that's a perfect way to end. That's amazing.
We still got 2 other videos, but yeah, okay.
So that's my answer to this whole situation is you're putting hardwood, you're just putting a pattern on the floor and telling me to play the game different. So that's my whole thing with it, with muscle memory and all, and I just hate, I just can't imagine trying to play this game at a high level, trying to do all that shit. That's my...
Okay.
There's a reason why I'm not. There's a reason why I'm not. There's a reason why I'm not active.
That's why.
There's a reason why I'm not active.
That's why.
That's my perspective. That's my perspective. But if we want to get down from a pure match perspective, I enjoyed it.
No, it wasn't a bad match. I was just
I
annoyed
enjoyed
that
it.
it wasn't what it was supposed to be.
I was enamored by how fat he was. I was enamored by how he looked like he was from freaking Cobra Kai. So I was just entertained. So
And fucking Rex
I was
died.
fine with it, you know.
Rex died,
I think
which was
most people
sad.
were too, by the way.
And that's where it came down. It wasn't a bad match. I was entertained. So that's what my whole take from it was.
So
I don't know what happened with Bingo. I don't really.
Yeah.
There's a reason again why I'm not active. So that's that. We can move on. There's better things to move on to now.
The Iron Man match. So yes. So like I said, apologies to Salami and Doc for fucking up the audio on that. We'll have the remixed nice version up today, or probably today. And yeah. So the match itself, everybody sleeps on Solomon Kane, and it's kind of annoying, honestly. I'm gonna stop that. Last time when they fought, and you know they did the survey, and 100% of people voted for Doc. See, a lesser like player or whatever would be like, they would probably just quit, because some people are soft like that. They'll just be like, oh, they don't believe in me, and they don't think I'm good enough. But fucking.
But it's not everybody. Everybody believes, and I never really believe he's not good. It's not like that. It's just that he was going against McCain.
Yeah, he was going against the. He was going. Yeah. So.
I mean, like.
It's
people are gonna go for that guy. It's fair to think that.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, if I'm that person who everybody's going against, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
And that's what he did last time, and even in this match we saw today.
I'm gonna say, yeah, he did it. He did it in this match. Like he had it, and then at the very end he started to lose it, and that's when the king came in. The king came to wear the crown. But let's not forget that Salami was still fucking kicking out of finishers like Tic Tacs. All right. Fucking Colin, you don't have to pat yourself on the back, all right, buddy? Cut it out. Fuck it. I just want to say I was playing. Great.
We'll pat you on the back plenty, my friend.
Hey, pat about his tushy. You want a tushy pat? Where's my custom entrance music guy? All right. That was fun. It was good though. It was nice. But yeah, it was a really good fucking match, and it was a different stipulation. Salami would probably still be champion because he got that. He had the king's number, son. He had the king's number. Period. For 85% of that match, he had it. And then when Doc got the elimination on the outside, I mean the count on the outside, that was smart. And then at the very end, he just started picking up the fucking Tic Tacs. It wasn't sudden death. I don't think it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. But I think
no. It was sudden death. Yes.
Well, fucking neither of them kind of like went for it until red. So I think honestly, if Kane would have got some more roll ups in, if he would have got up to like 3 to 4, I'd be a lot happier because I like him when it's usually close. But it is what it is. It was a really good fucking match. And it's probably gonna be top 3 like out of the 9 matches. Definitely top 3. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And then the end scene where fucking he ran away 5 seconds to steal the belt and then get kicked in the mouth. That was fucking. That's knowing to leave and then to cue that up. That's grade A stuff. Jake, take it away.
So yeah. So to what you said, it was sudden death, but this is what I've been telling you the whole time about this sudden death thing is they waited till red to really go for it. But you have to. The kickouts are so easy until you hit that finisher. When you play the game, you understand that, and they know. So this, like I said for Jest and Trey, is another good combination of the hybrid bit where they had great storytelling with Kane being his unhinged self and the comp thing. But this did have a little bit of frustration for me from Kane's side because he got the first fall. He was dominating him. He was like red, yellow, and Kane was yellow, full yellow. And he had several moments where he could have hit the finisher and he either didn't try or he picked him up. So the rules said he couldn't hit a fin. There was so many times he could have finished it. And Kane that's just what happens in comp. You just have to live with that. The absolute audacity for Kane with 4 seconds left to not be so frustrated that he's losing the match, to think, I'm going to make this into something and slide out of the ring, was an absolute stroke of genius that I shouldn't be surprised about, because he's been doing it since he got here. He did it in the entire Blacksmith feud, and that has raised Blacksmith to the level that he is today. Salami Kane is not the champion anymore, but he has raised so many stocks by being such a slimy piece of shit heel, and just he's done it to the fullest effect. And I think he was the MVP of the match in both this and Anniversary. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no.
He showed like how you can lose and still win at the same time, even in this game. With like what you decide to do and how you play, you don't. It's calm, but at the same time, you can be the one who lost and still come out smelling like roses at the same time.
Yeah, but now he's fucking concussed, so now he's fucking out. So what? What do we have now? These fucking people always do that. Once they get on this, they take themselves out. First fucking and fucking this guy. Go ahead.
Listen, his gold jacket.
Doc's gold jacket
with the patches.
Oh yeah, back to the attire. The attires on this show were
except for Salami's. That shit, I don't know what the fuck he was. the jacket. Oh my god. And can we not do the Shinsuke entrance again? If I see the Shinsuke entrance and it's not on Mugen,
you getting blocked.
I don't want to see it. I'm just gonna skip you. I'm gonna go to the bathroom during your match. I'm done.
He's not gonna book you.
I'm done. No, I'm gonna book you. You're fine. I'm just never gonna watch your entrance ever again.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna say, such and such. I'm gonna walk away because I'm gonna think it's gonna be Shinsuke. I'm Yuji Nakamura again, over and over again.
Yeah.
Fair. Every time. Pick some other kind of weird. There's got to be another weird entrance. It's been 3 years and I've seen this entrance on like every character.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, so.
But the gold jacket.
Yeah, it was fucking really nice. The gold jacket, the entrance, that
Colin proved he's still a king.
Yeah, thank God that shit didn't get flagged. But yeah, I know Colin's like, what about me? Yes, Colin, we thank you. That was wonderful work. I'm glad you took credit for it because I didn't know. I thought it was the actual song. Wow, that sounded really petty. It wasn't meant to be petty. I'm sorry. the French fight Pete.
Yes.
So Rust was saying that it was super duper lag and sped up, which is sad because that was a really good fucking match. I don't have anything to add other than the fact that Gooch has a question. What's next for? I was gonna do it in his voice. What's next for Ashley Moore and Zoe? Should they move on? I think right at this point, they should have a rubber match, but that's not up to me. I mean, it is up to me, but I don't care. It's basically up to them. Honestly, maybe they should. I don't know. Maybe we should get the rubber match. I don't know, but
tune into turmoil, who?
Yeah, right. Even though it was sped up, even though it was slow as fucking molasses, like when I fought Russ and he was talking shit. Super slow, 70 overall, still got you red, fuck you. Even though it was still a good match, and that's why it came second to last. That's the reason why. That and the fact that to try not to overlap the Kumites is what kind of helped it be second to last as well. See, you didn't enjoy the stip, but everyone else enjoyed the stip, so that's something on y'all. Y'all performed better with that stip that you both hated, but it made sense because remember, Zoe or La Mujer basically did the whole, that finisher where they roll up, and Ashley been rolled up fucking twice. So now Ashley can get rolled up. Ashley has to either get tapped out or knocked out. So that makes sense that the people picked it. So I don't know why everyone's all bent out of shape about that shit. I enjoyed the match wholeheartedly. It was very even back and forth. At some point, I thought that fucking Ashley was a foregone conclusion not to retain, and then she fucking locked on a goddamn modified Cold Skull Pepperton and then let that bitch go until the motherfucker died. So congratulations to Ashley.
Which was awesome.
Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, he can complain all he wants about the stip and how he didn't enjoy it, but I fucking enjoyed it. I think it was the second best match of the night. You made a great decision by moving it up the card after we had called everything, putting it second to last. It adds importance and gravitas to the women's championship, which I think it deserves. I know that we've kind of bounced back and forth between champions, but that's okay. It adds more importance to the title, to me, as long as people want it rather than artificial long reigns. And with this gimmick show, like the story they told, we had KO or submission. She did that finisher that she had beaten her the past 2 times with. That couldn't do it, so she went back to the old school Zoe Cole and hit the brainbuster on the top turnbuckle. And I thought that would have been it. I thought that was the KO. And then we had Ashley hit the kick it like Ashley. That didn't finish it. So we had back and forth attempts where they were trying to KO her. And then Ashley hit her out of nowhere. There were so many submissions in the match. I think Kit said this when he was in the VP. He's like, I've never seen this many submission attempts. Like, they were going after it.
You see how hyped I was for this? I came in for that match. Like, I came in for the 2 main events. I'm like, I'm here for the main event.
Yeah.
Like,
there were like three escapes from submission attempts. Legitimate, not flavor submission attempts. Legitimate submission attempts. I thought it was awesome. When I watched it the first time, I enjoyed it even more. Second time back, definitely the second best match on the card.
Yeah. Theo, anything?
Yeah, I just for like it to be that much lag apparently for them to play it, it's amazing how good it turned out.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm shocked
usually
about.
Doesn't happen like that. Yeah,
Look at the tag match. It was Lag City too, and you know no one knows the lag except them, so they should be happy that they fucking did that shit. So I don't know what to tell you.
Hats off. That's professionalism.
Pretty much. And Kent said he loved it. So yeah, good shit for both of y'all.
Yeah, I liked it. It was. I guess it was the same thing. Jamie was saying. He was saying that he didn't enjoy that cage match. That it was him and what's his face, Rex. And, yeah, he said he didn't enjoy it. Just I guess it's the same way with what's his name. They didn't enjoy it, but it turned out really well. Like, I really enjoyed it.
It was I remember that match. It was fucking great.
This was a great women's match, and it was Ashley 3-time like she's just
good for Ashley. Fucking happy. I mean, partially it's because of Kumite said, whatever. But it still worked out, so fuck it. Main event time. The video. We'll touch quickly on the video, then we'll talk on the main event. And we can cut it because I thought this was gonna be 40 minutes. Turn out a little bit longer because we like what we do. So that's awesome. So the video, fucking chez magnifique. My only criticism, I don't like people speeding up. People are getting to the habit of speeding up, moves. Just cut the move at the impact point instead of speeding it up. I hate that shit. It's irritating to watch. Cause I don't know where people got the idea to speed up like moves during a video. Cause then, you'll speed up for like a couple of frames, a couple seconds, and then the next seconds is back to being normal speed. It's just jarring, and I don't like it. But the actual video itself was good. Told the story, told the history. I didn't say you, motherfucker. I just said whoever did the video. If you did the video, then stop speeding shit up. Cause it was sped up. Go look at it. Go watch it back, motherfucker. I'm sorry. I'm rude. Sorry. I had bourbon in me. So yeah. So the video. Dug it. Any other thoughts in the video? Anybody want to say anything?
Thought it was perfect.
Okay, well that's just you being nice to Russ because I guess he did it. Jake, anything?
I watched it probably 100 times.
I know you told me you watched it like 700 times, so you're a mark.
I did. I was marking out the whole way there. Like I'm closer to this than most. So
Try to remember the basics. I'm not gonna lend any. Try to remember the basics.
I will say this though: the last 25 seconds of that package, and we started talking over it once it started hitting, like it's crescendo. The viewing parters started getting excited. So if you didn't really catch the last 25-30 seconds of that, go back and watch it. It's good stuff.
Everybody was. I remember it was a good fucking video. And then they got try to remember. I popped for that shit. Kent, thoughts?
Loved it.
Okay. Now the main event, which is I'm annoyed about. I'm annoyed about the main event because this would have been the main event for Resolution. What are we on? 15 now? We're on 15 or 16?
15.
We're on 15. So this would have been the main event for 15, and now that can't happen. So now I'm annoyed. So that being said, the match itself, I have, it sucks to say I have nothing. I really don't have anything to add. It was what there's a couple things. First and foremost, what Jake told me after the match is essentially the essence and the crux, and I hope that people listen to this maybe on YouTube or whatever. What he said after the match is what the crux of this place is about, where he was saying, and not to break the fourth wall too much, where he mentioned that, when Russ hit him and, he was yelling at Jake to fucking kick out because, it would have been over, and fucking, Jake kicked out because he doesn't usually kick out. And then Russ was actually happy that he kicked out. In a world of people rushing around and fucking being thirsty with your quote unquote friends, in a world of fucking everybody trying to fuck each other over and get a spot or whatever, in a world of all this bullshit, the crux of OCW is to put on a wonderful performance, a competitive performance, and have a feeling of satisfaction whether you are in victory or in defeat. That is the genesis, that is the crux, that is the bread and butter of OCW. And when you have that and I hear about it, it gives me more energy to produce content, because that's what the fuck it's about. It's not about fucking 3-inch spears and fucking taking powders and being a mamau. It's not about fucking, playing to the meta and whatever the bullshit and this, that, and the third. It's not about fucking being the best fighting cans. It's not about fucking, putting on shitty matches. But as long as you win, I don't give a fuck. As long as both people give it their all and they fucking show out and everybody else is entertained and you have respect for your opponent and you're happy with the outcome, that is what it's about. So that being said, I'm fucking annoyed that this shit won't be at Lucian. God fucking damn it. No other comments to say other than the Rust coming out as Pew Jr. was also, I like that a lot. That made me happy. I didn't put it together until the viewing party. Cause I was like, oh, that's a nice color wave. And then they're like, oh, that's Paul Pew purple. I'm like, is it? Like, oh shit, it is. And then the hair and everything else. Yeah, no, you fucking that stupid elbow he does. He caught Quartz twice, and then the third time Quartz was like, no bitch, and knocked him the fuck down. That wasn't on purpose, but it happened. Fucking the using the Black Phoenix on fucking Quartz, and Quartz not being able to kick out of his own easy ass finisher.
I marked out for that one.
That was amazing. And the fact that God. And I know Russ was talking shit when he did it too. That was great. Fucking Jake trying to go for a double Phoenix and then realizing he can't do it because it's against FPR, and then getting kicked in the mouth, but we can still put it over. That was amazing. Fucking, I'm gonna say
that match was my favorite match of the year.
That's a match of the year. That's definitely a match of the year.
Match of season 16 so far for me. Like, it was just
that
from
is
head to toe, just beef. It was like it was a world title match. It felt it had all.
No, it did. It really
build. Yeah, like you said, it was. I disagree that I think they could do it again on Lucian. Like, I'm the type of person that believes I will watch this again on Lucian.
I mean, you think so?
No mistakes would be high. I don't care if I seen it or I'll see it again.
You see,
and I want to see it again. Like,
I mean, like the only thing I have to add is basically now fucking Jake is, or Quartz is, the OCW World Champion. Nate, any thoughts?
Hi, Quartz. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Oh man, that is a threat and a half.
I said congratulations. The franchise will be back.
But if he's not,
if the franchise doesn't, then the High Quartz get to see you.
Who the fuck?
But besides the joking with that, like, it felt like I was watching like me versus Kent play. It was the same thing where
yep.
We're going
exactly.
You're going at the other guy's throat. Like, you want to kill them and you're playing to win the whole time, but you're playing to win and putting on a show, like, at the same time. Like, everything was just working perfectly. It was clicking. Like, you hitting the finish first and getting the first fall. Rust hitting your own move on you and getting the fall. You kicking out. It
felt like 2012 to me.
Yeah.
It felt like 2012. The 9-minute fucking entrance, like, just everything was just like, it felt like, and it was a Lucian match. And you're like, it should have been, but I'll watch it again.
It was a really good fucking match. And I'm it's just the fact that the after part of what Jake told me, how fucking enthused Russ was. Maybe Russ is also happy. He's like, thank God I'm not champion. I have to put up with this bullshit. But it's just that is what it's supposed to be about at the end of the day, and that's what you should. Like
how I felt when I lost my summer, like, fucking summer takers.
Yeah. See, you want that, and which I kind of skipped on fucking the Tony taking a break thing, which is depressing as fuck. It's like, I get it, it happens, but that shouldn't really happen in this vein or in this season or whatever. But it is what it is. It's just, it's disappointing. But the redemption on that is the fucking main event. Like, this is one thing is what's not supposed to happen. The other thing is what's supposed to happen. And I'm so happy for that match. And if for some reason by the time Lucian rolls around and fucking Quartz is still champion, somebody said it that it's gonna be like Quartz versus I think somebody said, they said it was gonna be Pew versus Nate at Lucian, which is obviously not happening. But someone also said, I think Quartz versus Nate at Resolution. And I was like, lol, no, but it legit might, maybe, I don't know. But there's story there, so that's the first thing.
No.
I know you said no, but
I'm not fighting him again.
No. No. You got to no. No. He's not going anywhere near that title. No.
I'm not fighting him again.
No.
Quartz
No,
is
he's
now
not going
on the
near any
boat.
world title. No.
The Shark
If this
is
50-year-old man,
starting.
listen, I'm gonna let the rest of the roster. I'm gonna put this out. If this 50-year-old man goes anywhere near your world title, you should be ashamed of yourself.
should be.
That's all I got to say. You should be.
Don't
You better guard that shit because if he comes after you, I can only stop it so far. Listen, I'm gonna put it's Nate. Listen, Nate is active. Jay is active. That means he's probably gonna be on Lucian. So your odds are not in your favor. So just do not let him be a 50-year-old man that takes your title at Lucian because I will never let it go. But the rest of the
Tom
roster,
Brady's in the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Oh my
Tom Brady's
god.
in the
Exactly.
Super Bowl.
That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Oh my god. So yeah. So that's gonna do it for us. But if you had to give this entire show, minus the role plays because y'all haven't read them because they're not up yet, minus that, what would you give chill factor out of, I guess, 10? Lol. I know Kent's a 7.5, but after everything, what would you give it?
I had a letter grade ready, but let me.
Okay, let's do letter grades then. Fuck it, we can do letter grades. I don't care. Letter grade.
This you got to take this with a grain of salt with me because I'm
B-?
I'm easily marked out. Absolutely not. A minus.
A minus. Oh shit.
A minus. Because you think about the negatives on this show, and that is with the tag match. I can bring up as a con, being it so short, and like the build, I was ready for it, and it just didn't deliver quite what I wanted to. But that happens with comp; it's nobody's fault. And with the CCW World Title match being knocked down, being the Kumite, just whatever happened. Even with those negatives, those matches had positive outcomes, with Lucha Country having this big like continuation with theirs, and then the rest of the match outside of the red card was fine for CCW. Everything else delivered. I came into this show with consequences vibes, and Kent knows what I'm talking about because we rated that show pretty low at the end of last season. I came into the show with like everything's a fucking stip match, everything's gonna be lame. That was not the case. Everything was awesome. Continuations were awesome. Like the open to the show with the Pride title match told a beautiful story. You got Court Martial. He has so many different avenues he can run now going forward. And then to end the show the way that it did, it was just short of perfect. It was an A minus.
Minus to you, Jesus. Okay, Kent.
I'm gonna give it a solid A. It was an A show. I'm gonna give it a solid because it's just for it being stip. Like I'm not a stip guy, but all of them hit except for one match really for me that wasn't really all that entertaining, and it was fast. So it wasn't like I was stuck in it for like a 45-minute tag match where it was just a shitty. You know what I mean? At least it got over with fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at least it was, and then it wasn't even that bad. So it wasn't like. I've seen way worse tag. I've seen so many worse tag matches, and I've been in worse tag matches.
Yeah.
So
exactly. The bad wasn't that bad, exactly.
Right, and besides that, I think everyone just delivered from top to bottom. And I had when I can name like four really good matches on a pay-per-view card, and that's half of them. And then, like I said, the one bad match is maybe a 6.5, and that's still just an average. It's like an average match.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, Nate.
So overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Okay. So you're going with an A.
Yeah, and plus Dominion, all the Dominion gets to walk home with no dinner.
Yeah,
so
Tony took the car.
Definitely a fucking
Tony
A.
took the car.
So
well, wait, we gotta wait one more week. We need Danny to get fucking humbled so that.
Well, Danny's not even on the show, so he didn't even get it. You know what I mean? He's just at home.
He's in the car.
He's at home.
He drove Tony home.
He drove Tony
He's in the car.
He's the chauffeur.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus Christ. Yeah. Danny's probably getting washed anyway. Sorry. No, it is what it is. He's not going to. Nate, what do you give it?
Shock the world.
What do you give it, Nate?
Besides the crap that Kent just said, I give it an A+. Not A+.
Whoa!
No,
I was gonna say.
If the tag match would have been what it potentially could have been, then yeah. But for like the beginning of the show to be as awesome as it was, the end of the show like was amazing, and everything in between, like it was really good. Besides one match that was just kind of like, like that's all we can ask for. Like the odds of so many matches being as good as they were,
Yeah,
like
true.
you don't get that. And for the main event, like to live up to like the hype and then some,
Yeah,
like it's always the fact that like after that match was over, Russ was just like, Nate had a banger, man. Like, he was just like, he was just happy. Like I didn't know
Shout
if
out
he
to
won or
Russ.
lost. I just knew he was happy with the match. And like when you get that, and then to see what it was, like, yeah, that's an A.
Warms my little heart.
Wow. I wish you would have said it was a bang and then it was garbage. Like, what are you talking about, you French fuck? Are you gonna lie to me like that? I ain't gonna have a great match. This is terrible. What are you like? We have two different opinions of quality. What are you doing? I guess being me, I'm giving it a B plus. Who like I don't like I've been through the trenches. Like I've seen shit that not even Nate seen. Like I've seen like so much garbage, you know, and then so much good. Actually, nah, man. The last couple seasons have been like good.
Very good.
So yeah, I want to say B plus plus maybe. I'll give it B plus plus.
Just call it an A minus, you fucking.
Fuck you! I'm not gonna agree with you. No, fuck that. Because we had two.
Jay doesn't round up grades.
The Kumite pissed me off, and the tag
70,
match was not
you get
great.
that
So fuck
87.
you. You get a B plus plus.
He took a couple of these things personally, and he's.
Yeah, nah, fuck you. I can take shit personally. I'm like Joey. I take that shit personally. I take that shit personally.
Well, he deals with it from head to toe pretty much. So
I gotta.
I get it.
So
I gotta deal with stuff from head to toe and all this other nonsense. It did have a big big pay-per-view feel, and yes, that's the one thing that we didn't, to wrap it up. Being all stips, I'm the only one who didn't think it would turn to a shit show. For some reason, everyone else did.
I was confident.
Rightfully
I
so.
was confident about it for some odd reason. I don't know why. I didn't really. Because it's been a while since we had a chill factor. Yeah, it was a while since we had a chill factor. It's just been a while since we had a chill factor. So it was just like, okay,
a chill factor with voting.
It can't be that bad.
Because we had one, I think, in 20.
I hate voting.
Yeah.
I hate voting.
17 was the last one.
Yeah, and it was
no
just,
there.
it was just the regular whatever. And then the voting came back 9 years later. I like the voting aspect of it. It's just that doing the voting is the part that's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So yeah. So I think it turned out really good. I'm very proud of everybody who participated, regardless of my biases or irritation regarding it. It was still a really good show. So I'm gonna give it a B, like I said, a B plus plus. I'm happy that everyone was involved. I'm happy everybody did something. I'm happy everybody competed. I'm happy that for the most part, it was super clean. And fuck all the rookies who didn't write anything or post videos. Y'all could fucking suck an egg. You stink. Don't give me no garbage. All right. Wow, that was rude. Sorry about that. Yeah, no, it's just I'm just used to seeing garbage, so it's like I'm negative and numb to it. But I'm very glad about this. So that being said, everybody who stood by us from the beginning of this Talking Ish post show, if you guys dug it, maybe we'll do it again for the next pay-per-view. Maybe we'll try to condense it a little bit next time. But either way, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll also be available on YouTube at the following location. You can go there on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube page for all our videos and stuff. Twitter for any news updates and random musings, and the Instagram page, which is done by somebody. And in true Twitch fashion, as soon as I'm about to wrap it up, people just start coming in. I don't know why, but it just seems to be the way it is. It must be a time thing. Either way, any parting thoughts, gentlemen? Anything from you, Kent?
Great job.
Okay.
Keep it up.
Anything from you, Nate?
Yep, keep it rolling. We're not done. No break time.
No break.
Pedal to the gas. Resolution will be here sooner than you think.
No break. No break. Jake,
anything? I saw Gooch say that Lucian's around the corner, so it will be here sooner than you think, but still got about 4 months, so relax on that. You got plenty of time to build some stuff.
Yeah.
Hats off to everybody on the builds. We criticized the builds to the previous pay-per-views that we had. No worries there. Everybody did a great job, RP and video-wise, leading up to this show. And I'll slip in a little plug of my own. Congratulations to rookie Chris Green, who won the pick'em for this pay-per-view. He will get extra points heading into. He will get extra points heading into Clash for that prize, that Virgil cameo that I'll be paying for.
You're that fuck money, bro.
Yeah, man. Olive Garden, baby. So yeah, so that's good for the committee of OCW. Myself, I guess the owner of this fucking place, Jake Allen, the booker for Turmoil. Mr. Kent, or Dupree rather, the GM, the booker of Riot, and Nate Ortiz, the GM of Turmoil. That's gonna do it for all of us. We'll see you next go round for Turmoil Double Jeopardy, where there'll be more voting, and maybe it'll be good, or maybe it'll be really shitty. Who the hell knows? It's always a toss up. That's basically it. It's always a toss up. And then I can't really be honest with y'all, because then y'all get upset and leave the fucking Discord. So whatever. All right. I love y'all. Good night. Bye. Fuck y'all.
Bye.
See, if I go on my bag, people get upset. So I don't go on my bag. I just stay quiet and be petty. Whatever. I'm done. See you later.